So here's my next video. This video I'm going to talk about the intuition classes I took, the second one I took with the medium here in Chicago, and the craziness that ensued during that class. To recap the first class, we got in touch. We tried to see auras. I saw a face come through the wall from the funeral parlor slash tattoo parlor next to their studio. So this one, I returned for a second class a few weeks later, and basically we took it up a notch. So we got some more intense practice, putting our skills to the test and seeing what came through. So, um, yes. On a side note, following up from the ghost tours we did at my home church in Connecticut a few weeks ago, I've since been asked to look at a haunted coffee shop in Connecticut. And so looks like the when I'm home again the second week of December, I'll be stopping in there after it's closed to see what I can pick up. So stay tuned for that experience. Anyway, the second intuition class showed up for was pouring rain and had to run away in the rain to get to the shop, get there, and then we settle in, and then we gather again. There was about 10 of us, and I was the only man again. But we put our skills to the test. So the first thing she did was take us through a psychometry exercise. Again, I took a psychometry class with Cindy Kaza out at Lilydale in August. But this is the first time that I had attempted psychometry. And based on the result, I'm not sure I can do it or not. So here's what happened. Um, so medium holds up a little felt bag with a drawstring, and she says, "I'm going to have you hold this and read it and see what you get from it." And she said, "Any guesses what it is so far?" And of course, most people said jewelry, ring, earring, necklace, whatever it was. So she pulls it out, and it's a ring, and it has 4 stones on it. And so as soon as she held that up, I'm looking at it. I go, okay, whose could that be? And in my head, I heard right off the bat, grandmother's ring. Okay. So grandmother's ring. I said, okay, we need to go through the exercise. So she's taking us through it. Um, Her method of connecting with spirit was to picture yourself going up and up and up, higher and higher towards the light, brighter and brighter light up towards the source, and try to make the connection at that level. So she has us close her eyes and go through that exercise. Try to picture yourself going up, up, and up, closer to the heavens. Uh, for whatever reason, I don't know if that works or not. Like I said in my other videos, the light usually comes down to me. Of course, this is before any of that ever happened. So I'm trying to picture myself going up to the light. I'm not sure if I'm doing it or not. Anyway, then she passes the ring around. So each of us has to hold the ring and try to get what information we can from it. So it starts off and it works her way around. Of course, we're quiet. We're just taking notes at this point. And then finally, I get the ring and I'm holding it. I'm like, okay, picture yourself going up. Tell me, who are you? Who are you? Um, what about, tell me something about this ring. Whose ring is this? Can you tell me about it? And all I heard in my head was, I've already told you. Like, okay, I guess it's grandma's ring. Pass it to the next person. So I don't know if that qualifies as a pure psychometry success or not. I was already told before I even had the ring who it belonged to. So again, didn't seem to have much luck with Cindy Kaza's class, so I don't know if I can do psychometry or not. A spirit nearby just seems to tell me stuff when they want to. Anyway, so end of the exercise, and we compare notes. And so I told her what I heard. I said, when you held it up, I heard grandma's ring. And when I held it, I heard in my head, I've already told you what it is. So that was my experience. A couple people had different experiences. One lady in particular, she was very good. She said there were 4 stones on here, but I got the impression there were 5 stones on here originally, and one was removed. And the medium actually said, yes, that's true. It's my grandmother's ring, and she had 5 grandchildren, but one died young. So for whatever reason, she had that stone removed from the ring and only had the 4 stones for the 4 living grandchildren. So that was pretty profound in that exercise. The next exercise we did, we had to turn to the person next to us and try to get a reading on them. And so turns out the young lady who was sitting to my left and I tried to read each other. And she had professed earlier in the class that she didn't know if she had abilities or not, but she was mostly there because her grandfather was the owner of the funeral parlor, now the tattoo parlor, in the adjacent building. So she was curious to see what it was like now. So I don't know if she got into the building, but that's why she was there. So she didn't know if she had abilities. So she tried to read me. And best I can recall, she picked up a few things that were accurate. I think, you help people in your job, um, like hiking or biking, something like that, camping, some pretty generic things, but they were correct for the most part. And then I tried to read her, and I'm trying to concentrate, close my eyes. Hey, what am I picking up on? And jotted down some notes. And basically, I said, well, I don't know why, but I'm seeing like a knight. I'm seeing a knight. I'm seeing like medieval Renaissance. I'm seeing medieval type things like, castle. I'm seeing, a knight on a horse and jousting. And she's like, no, no, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I said, well, I don't, I'm seeing people, people dressed up. It feels like I'm back in medieval times. And so I finally said, I don't know, it's something Renaissance. And she goes, oh, yes, I go to Renaissance fairs all the time. I love Renaissance fairs. We always dress up and go. And then, boom, finally it clicked for her. I'm like, okay, that's why I saw all that. She goes to Renaissance fairs. So that was good confirmation, even in a roundabout way. So I said, oh, gee, maybe okay. Maybe I do have a talent for this. I did that quasi successful reading at the first intuition class. And this one, I got this information. So I said, okay, maybe I do have some abilities around this or some really good spirits who are telling me things. Anyway, so the final exercise of this intuition class, we had to read someone who was unknown to us. We had to close our eyes. She was going to bring in this person and sit them down in the center of our circle while our eyes are closed, and we had to guess who this person was, male or female, younger, older, whatever. So we close our eyes and we're trying to, meditate, connect, and we hear her walking in and she stops. Okay, any guesses? And I said, I'm picking up a male. And, no one really had any, everyone threw out their guesses. No one had anything there. And she goes, okay, I surprised you. I kind of faked you out. It's their dog, but it is a male dog. So that was kind of a dirty trick. So she laughed and walked back. And then she says, okay, now I'm bringing in the person. Close your eyes. Everyone concentrate. So she brought in the person, sat them down in a chair in the middle of the circle. And we had to pick up. And at that point, I was a little TO'd about the dog incident. So I said, I don't know, male or female. I really don't know. So we open our eyes, and it's a young lady, probably in her mid-20s, and little bit overweight, but uh, those are the only real visible clues. A young lady, little bit overweight, and we had to try to read her. So she started in the circle to the right. So there were about 4 or 5 people before it came to me. And she said, okay, concentrate, concentrate. What can you pick up? And I so close my eyes. And right off the bat, I see the block letters again in my third eye, behind my eyelids. I see I saw horseback therapy. Nice and clear. I'm like, horseback there. I said, that doesn't even make sense. I didn't even write it down at first. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So as it concentrated, I saw her. Um, they asked a few questions as they started. Um, Someone thought that she had been divorced, which she said yes, she was divorced. Determined that she was seeing someone else. And as these clues are coming out. I got a picture of and I hate to say it, but one of these older guys, well, guy in his like late 20s, maybe almost 30, sitting in his parents' basement playing video games all day. And overweight, very tall though, like 6'2", 6'4", something like that. But basically played video games all day long. That's what I pictured. And then I saw them together, and then right next to that, I saw them apart. So as they continue to go around the circle, they said, she's looking to get married again, and she was kind of hoping this latest boyfriend was the one. So as this kind of came out, it made more sense. So I figured, okay, he's very fun to be with when they're together, but he's not ready for commitment. So that's why I see them apart. So I didn't think there was a long-term prospect in this relationship. So it finally comes to me, and of course the medium's going through, and she's like, write down everything, even if it doesn't make sense, write it down. So last second I wrote down horseback therapy, and so comes to me. I said, okay, so is your boyfriend, and I tried to put it diplomatically, I didn't want to say sits in the cellar and plays video games all day. I said, is he in IT? Does he work with computers a lot? And she said, yes, 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 he does. And I said, okay, is he much taller than you, like over 6 feet? He's like, oh yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5". It's like, okay, that's clicking. I said, well, I saw you together, and then I see you apart. So what I'm being shown is, that's my new buzz phrase for that class, um, fun to be with, love hanging out with him, but I don't think he's long-term material. He's in it for the fun. He's not in it for commitment or relationship. He's kind of a commitment phobe. I don't think he's marriage material. And then she starts crying a little bit. It's like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. He won't get close. He won't get close. He doesn't want to, he won't ask me to marry him or anything like so. Okay. I guess that makes sense. And then it's a medium leans over me, and it's just like, what else did you write? What else did you write? Say it, say it. So I'm like, okay. I said, okay, for whatever reason, when I first started meditating on you, I saw the words horseback therapy. And I said, I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever. She starts sobbing, crying right there in front of us. And she said, basically, she was in between jobs. She was looking to see, she wanted a career change. She wanted something more exciting, more fun. Um, and she basically said, I was so confused last night that I went out to my parents' farm outside Chicago, and I rode my mother's horse around the property. And I thought to myself, maybe I can do horseback therapy for children. So my jaw drops, the medium's jaw drops, and then everyone else is just kind of silent for a second. And it's like, see, I told you, the medium's telling me. It's just like, you say everything you get. Doesn't matter what it sounds like. It's like, okay. So that was out of left field. But yeah, she was looking at maybe doing horseback therapy for children, which other friends of mine from years past had participated in that kind of stuff. So I knew it was a thing, but I just saw the words horseback therapy, and apparently that struck a chord. So I don't know what this young lady is doing now, but maybe she's doing horseback therapy. So that would be a good outcome for her, I'm guessing, since it was shown to me. So anyway, um, that was the basic experience at the second intuition class. So again, if you've taken any classes like this, let me know your experiences. If you have any stories you'd like to share, please let me know. I'm, slowly running out of my stories here. I need to experience some new things before I can share some more videos. So hopefully this ghost encounter in Connecticut next month may show something interesting. Also, I'm still hoping to get back into that church where the ghost whispered in my ear, please help get me out of here. So I'm trying to set up a visit to there myself to see if I can clear them over. We'll say, though, um, 2 nights ago. Um, I forget. I was watching a show. Tony Spira has filmed a video for YouTube. Um, I guess I think in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I forget what. Oh, Incarnate. Incarnate is the name of the video. Tony Spira. There's also a movie named it. It's not the movie. This is just it's like a 30-minute clip that he did more recently about how he got in, how he met his wife, the Warren's daughter, and how he got involved in their casework over the years. So that freaked me out a little bit, and I honestly felt some evil coming in that evening into the apartment, and kind of shook me up a little bit to the point where I got out the prayers and I got out the Ting Sha, and didn't seem to do anything. I didn't sleep very well 2 nights ago, woke up 3 or 4 times. Um, and finally, last night, I said, that's it. I'm not inviting this back in again. And of all places, in the bathroom, I could feel the energy, and I just said, okay, I'm calling in all the archangels. I said, Gabriel, Michael, Metatron, every archangel I can name. Metatron, please come down, fill this space, push out and banish any evil, any demonics that are in this space. Do not let them affect me anymore. And I felt kind of I'm not going to say it's the white light feeling, but I felt the energy come down and pushed this away. So I slept pretty soundly last night, and of course followed up with Ting Sha and more prayers to seal the deal. And so hopefully that's taken care of for a while. But um, yeah, just to show it can still happen anytime, any place, and I don't meddle with the dark side of the paranormal just because I do not want to reinvite it in again. So anyway, if you get a chance, watch that video, Incarnate. Um, and if you have any experiences or places you may want me to look at, and I'm not a ghost hunter, but I said I'll be back in Connecticut in 2 weeks. So hopefully I can get some more experiences under my belt and find some success. So also trying to get that medium back from the ghost tour to see if they can feel anything else in the church building. So hopefully that will come together as well. But hope you enjoyed it. And of course, leave me any comments.